Discovery Networks launched in the United States in 1985 with just one channel. The international broadcaster today reaches over 170 countries around the world. Next, we take a closer look at the Discovery brand and their plans to spread their African footprint. In studio with us, we have Weinstein, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Discovery Networks Europe, Middle East and Africa. Well, welcome. That's quite a mouthful.
It is. It is. It's a lot of territories.
Caleb, would you say after 25 years of being in business that Discovery is the king of all documentaries?
Absolutely. I think Discovery produces on a depth and breadth that is unmatched by anybody else in the world of documentary. We have 13 major networks in the United States and on average 5 networks in countries outside the United States. So we produce, I think, more factual programming than anybody else out there.
So how would you say you got there and how sustainable is that position?
Well, I think it was driven by the passion of our founder and chairman, Jonathan Hendricks. He left the University of Maryland in 1984 to start this company, what was originally called the Cable Learning Network, and then evolved into Discovery with a passion for the product. And I think that drives everything we do. We produce on a breadth and scale and quality that is unmatched. And I think that has been what has defined the brand and holds us to where we are today and to where we'll be in the future.
So how do you decide on content?
Well, I think the main filter of Discovery across all our networks is to find something that you've never seen before from all over the world. It's not with a specific territory or market perspective, but with a global perspective. And that can range from the first DNA testing of King Tut, which is a show we announced last week, to the finding of Archipithecus, or Finding Ardi, which was a show we did for 17 years on the archaeological finding in Ethiopia, to raising a family of 8, 12, or 20. If you've never seen it before, we want it to be on Discovery first.
How do you go about doing research?
Well, we have development teams around the world, and they pursue this programming with a passion that I think is unmatched. They are experts on Egyptian history, on biology, on animals, and they are going after these topics like nobody else. And they're
What I meant was, just to interrupt you there, research on what your viewers like in terms of a program. Excuse me.
Well, we're constantly in the field with research, talking to viewers, finding out what they think about not just the Discovery brand, but our individual programs. What are the programs they like? You know, we really try to get into their heads beyond what simple ratings will tell us, and really find out what really connects with them. So the shows that have probably driven our widest success with viewers is Deadliest Catch, and Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls, as well as Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe and American Chopper. I mean, these are shows that were a new genre of programming called docu-soaps or docudramas, and it was a way to look at factual topics, but in a very new, entertaining format. And I think that's what has really driven Discovery's growth in the last couple of years, about being able to redefine programming as it's never been seen before.
So what are your expansion plans here in South Africa and Africa?
Well, in South Africa specifically this week and across Africa, we're launching a new channel. And in the last month, we've also launched another new channel. So we've gone from having 2 channels in the market for the last 13 years, Discovery and Animal Planet, to now having 4. So today we have Discovery HD Showcase, which is a channel from its start and beginning is designed for that viewer who has a 60-inch plasma screen on their wall. The best in HD programming from Discovery Networks productions around the world. And then we also have Discovery World. And Discovery World is more of your classic factual or documentary style programming. We found that South Africans in particular really view Discovery Channel as an entertainment channel. So we're moving Discovery Channel into the entertainment section of the electronic program guide on DSTV to channel 121, and then launching Discovery World on DSTV, excuse me, and channel 250. So really to speak to people with more content, more voices, and give the viewers what they want in the right places.
Any TV trends that you've seen lately?
Well, you know, I think TV is constantly evolving and developing. I think, you know, what we're seeing is that there are more and more interests that need to be served, whether it's motor TV on channels that are just about cars, to, for our own portfolio, talking about not just Discovery, but Discovery Channel, Discovery World, Discovery Travel and Living, Discovery Science. People want more, particularly out of the pay TV platforms, and we produce at such a breadth and scale that we can really speak to people and entertain them in many different voices, and we try to do that every day.
And what impact do they have on Africa, these trends?
Well, I think our goal here in Africa is really to prove the proposition of pay TV. Why do you get pay TV? And really support the overall industry. And I think with our content, the way we communicate our content to viewers, we have the ability to do that. So I think for Africa, we see great underlying growth and new platforms launching in countries across the continent. We of course love Africa because it is such a rich content driver for us. Africa, is the birthplace of man, the birthplace of civilization. So much great programming comes off of this continent that we really want to be here in both the commercial and the creative formats.
What's the most popular show in Africa on Discovery?
Oh, I have to say probably Deadliest Catch is one of the most popular, as well as How It's Made. And How It's Made is a show which really looks at simple things, everything from how is a ice cream bar made to what's the secret behind IKEA, the everyday curiosity that we have about topics.
So when you do your research, do you go on territory and decide, for example, for this territory in Africa, these are the shows that we're going to have, and for example, in America, we're going to have these groups of shows, or how do you go about that?
Of course, we look at all our markets locally, but I have to say one of the secrets and the sauce, or the secrets of success for Discovery, was that we produced programming that had such great quality that it translated around the world. Okay. And the topics... The topics we cover, a shark is not English, not South African, not Russian. True. You don't have to localize it. So we produce a great high quality hour that we can run across our 170 territories. We then localize the schedule for the local market conditions. But one example I can talk about is here in South Africa, we don't program a lot of Alaskan shows or shows on Alaska. Right. Snow just doesn't really connect with the audience here. Kinda. And in Russia, we did last year, globally, we had a gorgeous 6-hour miniseries on the 50th anniversary of NASA. And we went into the archives of NASA, we pulled out the 70mm films, and we really produced what is really a gorgeous show, particularly in HD. But you don't show NASA programming in Russia.
Right.
So you have to localize to that taste, programming habits, programming time, viewing times.
Excellent.
But really our programming base is driven by having a high quality local view.